Good day and welcome to the show as it is hot. Wait till I talk. Una, welcome to the show as it is hot this afternoon. It's really hot in the afternoon because I have beautiful. See, I'm going to remove handsome at this point. We are welcoming beautiful men and exquisite ladies, because I'm equally a lady, in the studio this afternoon. And I will start by welcoming Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi by my right hand side. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing this afternoon?
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
Oh, they're really hot. They're really hot, but you're welcome. Thanks for joining. And then to my beautiful co-host, Sharon Enenchiku. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Always beautiful as usual, Miss Pinky. Thank you, clock it. All right, we equally have Mr. Wisdom Okechukwu joining us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Wizzy. How are you doing this afternoon?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mrs. Former. How are you doing?
I'm Missy Former. I'm not Mrs. Former.
Yes.
All right, no problem. You can see that we have a full house this afternoon of active citizens, and we are diving into the stories of today. Now, today we are looking at 4 different stories coming from different parts of Nigeria, but when you look closely, they all raise one central question: are Nigerian leaders truly accountable to the people they govern? Let's start off with the first story. Now, a viral report on social media claimed that a kitchen staff at the presidential villa allegedly attempted to poison President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The claim quickly spread across the internet and triggered widespread speculation. However, the presidency quickly denied the story, calling it false and fabricated, and this raises an important issue. In Nigeria today, trust between citizens and government is extremely low. So when a rumor like this appears, many people quickly believe it, not necessarily because it is proven, but because of the deep suspicion people already have about those in power. We'll take a look at the video, and when we come back, we have a full-blown conversation on the topic. Let's take it.
Today we examine reports surrounding the shocking arrest of a presidential chef over an alleged plot to poison President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, an incident that has prompted swift intervention by a special police squad and triggered heightened security measures within the presidential environment. According to preliminary information from security sources, the arrest followed intelligence alerts suggesting suspicious activities connected to food preparation procedures within restricted areas linked to presidential operations. Authorities moved quickly after receiving credible reports that indicated a possible threat to the safety of the president, leading to a coordinated investigation involving specialized security personnel tasked with protecting national leadership. Officials emphasized that the operation was carried out professionally and discreetly to avoid public panic, while ensuring that all potential risks were neutralized. The suspect, identified as a member of kitchen staff attached to presidential services, was reportedly taken into custody for questioning as investigators began examining evidence and verifying claims connected to the alleged poisoning attempt. Security agencies have urged the public to remain calm, stressing that
why this particular video went really viral is because of the fact that we've had instances like this in the past. The likes of Omar Musa Yaradua, there were speculation that he was poisoned, even though at the end of the day that was not the narrative they created in the media space. The same thing goes with Sani Abacha in 1998, and even the late Buhari. We heard about the fracas concerning the wife poisoning the husband and the rest of the story. I think this is what led to the virality of this particular story. But having a president or having this kind of rumor in Aso Villa, I'll start with you, Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi. What does this entail?
It can't be like saying a story we just hear every time. And when stories like this come up and people embrace it, it goes to tell how much the people distrust the government. How much people, just take information. Ordinarily, when I was trying to confirm if this story were true or not, I realized that it was just all made-up stories. In fact, Bayo Ononuga, who I love to call him chief domestic staff. He came out and, dislodged that information. And, well, basically, stories like this always make trends because it's like a beer parlor information. And beer parlor talks, they go for beer parlor, and it is sweet. Stories like this, they're sweet. True. Many people, I don't want to believe, but there are so many people who would want the story to be true.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. If you see the comment section, I mean, Nigerians have really gone broke. But still talking about this, what does this say? What do you think this entails for not just the public? Because just like what Mr. Oladimeji said, a lot of people are expectant that our president, your president, I mean, will leave the surface of the earth. What does this say about the security in Aso Villa?
I will correct you again. Our president.
No, your president.
Not my president. All right. So for this particular news story, similar to Mr. Oladimeji, when I saw this, I suspected that it wasn't true. And also helping to that suspicion was that no major news blog was carrying it. Nobody was talking about it, right? It was just circulating amongst rumor gossip blogs, and I just pinpointed that and felt like it wasn't true. And also the storyline, and if you remember, it's something that they would always say in the comment section, oh, is there nobody that would go to the kitchen and just put something in his food? They did it during Buhari's regime, they're doing it now. So it's something that they would want to be true, right? Now, apart from that, I am not someone to jump on, stories that are not verified or verifiable. I remember with Edo government and how he came out to say he had signed a deal with one company like that gave them over 500 or how much, such a huge amount of money to invest in Edo State. And the funny thing about that story, I just said now that this particular one was not verifiable. We had the likes of Punch, and the likes carrying the news, and it seemed true, but someone had to make an investigation and found out that wasn't the case, and that was how we knew, all right, this was just cooked up. So it's very important for us as Nigerians to pay close attention to news like this and do our due diligence.
Oh, well said. Now coming to you, Mr. Wisdom, what does this say about the trust between the government and the people they rule? Because just like I say always in the show, that this government, this administration have long tanked the trust that we have in them. Why is it that when news like this come up, we find it difficult to even believe that it is false?
Okay, so first of all, the narrative is just unbelievable. If you listen to the video that we just played very intently, you find out that Nigeria has a policy or something that they are known for. When an atrocity like this is perpetrated, they are very quick to name names, right? But from the video we watched, we saw that not even a single name was mentioned. It was the suspect this, the suspect that. When has Nigerian government ever been in the position to protect the interest of people who are perpetrators of atrocities, if not their own people? Right? So coming out now to say that this person, the suspect, that they are conducting investigation to protect the interest of the public and protect the interest of the person, it just screams people are creating a very interesting narrative. And in the comment section, someone mentioned something. That just recently P2B was attacked. Yes. So them coming out to spin this narrative is in a way inciting a kind of a narrative that P2B's people are trying to create a kind of by attacking him in his own home. Another thing you take notice of, how did they find out that the food was poisoned? Did they test it? Who died?
Exactly.
You get my point. Who died? How did they verify that he was actually poisoned? Because I mean, if I wanted to poison, I won't poison somebody. But if I wanted to poison somebody, I would do my due diligence.
Please remind me to take my food.
to poison someone, you will be diplomatic.
Yes,
It's
of
not
course.
something that you just come out and, you know, spill out in the public. But, you know, still talking about the issue, a lot of people are saying this because you just mentioned now that it might actually be because they need or they want to garner pity, just like a lot of people said that P2B garnered pity during the attack, attack that he had. So do you think that this is more like an attempt to incite or make people feel pity for the president?
Far from incitement, I think it's a script to garner sympathy. I think it's a script to, you know, remove the public opinion or public sympathy that Peter Obi is currently enjoying.
Yes.
You remember that the boy who made that threat has been arrested.
Yes.
And, you know, the more the story prolonged, the more sympathy Peter Obi gets. And they want to remove that shine from him.
Exactly.
And
Take
focus the shine
President.
to the presidency.
Your
Now,
president.
no, they would. No, now they will say it's not Peter Obi anymore. Now the president too is under threat.
Really? Wow. I really love the analysis I'm getting this afternoon. But let's move over to the next story, which is a viral video circulating online featuring an American missionary, Alex Barber, who claims he was detained after attempting to help rebuild homes in Yelwata, Benue State, a community affected by violent attack. He also accused authorities of misrepresenting facts about reconstruction projects and failing to adequately protect vulnerable communities. Now, whether all these claims are accurate or not, the story touches on a very real crisis. The prolonged violence in parts of Benue State, and once again, the major issue here is trust. We'll take a look at Alex Babi addressing the media. When we'll come back, we have more conversation on the topic.
Instead of commending and praising the work that is done in your state, you spit. You intentionally lie about the work that has been done in order to discredit what we've done.
You are talking of 36 houses. The best of my knowledge, the last time I was there, he raised 18 uncompleted 18 houses that he had.
You know that it's been more than 18 homes. If you've been to Yelwata, you know that the work has been ongoing for months. And at this point, dozens and dozens of homes have been completed. But then you want to tell the news and you want to lie and try to discredit. And say that, oh, last time I was there, only 18 homes. Well, you must have not been to Yelwata in months because today is 41. The very work that you yourself refused to do. For 6 months, the government had the funds to do rebuilding, to be able to help the people. And it wasn't done. You sat on the money that was supposed to go to the ones who lost their families, who were massacred in the night, who now have no home. And you chose to do nothing. And we do what you guys refuse to do. And your choice is not to uplift and to praise, but to spit on what we have done.
I don't know who gave him 300 billion projects to build market. It's laughable. We don't have such. If you have any 300 billion project that the ministry write to him or whatever, he should come.
Mr. Kunde, you say that you have no clue who talked about a 300 million market. Yet it was your own words. Tell the truth. I have the messages. They're right here. You sent the video. You told me the figures of what this market that was proposed will cost. And I rejected it and I said no. I said from the very beginning when I came to SEMA, when I came to the Benue government, I'm here to rebuild Yelwata, the homes and the market. And the response was the government has a plan. Please, we will do the market. You can do the homes, we will do the market. You rejected my intervention because of your plans. And your plans, based on the messages, was a 300 million market in which no village in Nigeria has. Not one village has this market. And so I ask you, why are you proposing such a monstrously expensive village? Which we can't even find this in Nigeria. The people just want to go home. They just want to survive. They just want to live in peace. They will take anything, even if it's 500,000 naira, whatever it is, to be able to help them. And instead of using what you have to go and help immediately, to run into the fire to help your own people. You are going to sit back and then do nothing because of your 300 million market. I ask you, Mr. Kunde, today, have you built the market? Where are the funds for the market? Where are the funds that have been donated for Yewara? Where are they?
We rejected the plan of thatch houses for the returnees.
There was no plan for thatch houses. If you go to Yewara today, you see cement and brick. Not once was it proposed that we will build thatch houses. If we were going to propose to build thatch houses, we would allow them to do this themselves. They lived in mud and grass. Today, they live in cement.
If we want to settle people, we'll tell them this is the way we want to settle. That's why the government of Benue State also have a resettlement plan. But we cannot return people the same way they were.
You say that you can't return people the same way that they were. I ask you, which people have you returned to their land in Benue? Which ones? Which families? Which homes have you built? Which people have you allowed to go back to their ancestral lands? Which ones? The only reason that I'm even working in Benue and in Nigeria as a whole is because the government is not doing it. You have millions of people around Nigeria who have had their villages burned, their farms have been stolen, they've been forcibly removed from their land. And you guys are allowing this, and you're not helping them. No village has the government built. And so we have to come to be able to do this because as a Christian, we cannot stand by in silence as people are massacred, as Christians are slaughtered, as Muslims are burned. We stand for truth, we stand.
Now, Benue State has been one of the most affected states, resulting to others farmer header crisis and clashes. And as of last year, Riley Moore, a U.S. missionary, came to Nigeria, and he went to different IDP camps, most especially Benue State, and he came out to release that Benue State has over 600 people in IDP camps, and he decried on how dilapidated the situation of living, the deplorable condition they live in is, and was really encouraging and imploring the government to assist those in IDP camps. And it took another U.S. missionary, Alex Babert, to come to Nigeria, Benue State to be precise, to seek succor, or rather to provide succor for the people of Benue State. And instead of praising him, commending him, the government of Benue State detained him for 48 hours. Let me start with you, Sharon.
All right, I know that was a mistake, but Riley Moore is a politician, not a missionary.
Politician, yes. Sorry, yeah.
So I think that because, first off, I even heard the number was 3,000 IDPs in Benue State, more than 600. And the fact that we have such numbers of people and such displaced persons in their thousands, in their numbers, living in one state, you would ask yourself, what about other states that have been heavily affected by banditry and terrorism? What is their situation? What is the situation report for those people? Now, when you look at this video, I really love the fact that he took his time to respond to every single concern that the representative of the Benue State government raised in that video. Because when this initially started and came to limelight about the 300 million plan for a market, I asked myself, which market in any village is worth that much?
Exactly.
Now, you have a missionary, someone who is a foreigner, not even in Nigeria, coming to assist. And he said the reason he's coming to assist is because the Nigerian government has refused plainly to do what they're supposed to do, and now an individual has taken it upon himself, according to him, to build and rebuild 41 houses, and was planning to invest as much as 60 million naira to help them rebuild their market. But the government said no. And you'll recall, because I also saw a screenshot of when the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu donated the sum of 1 billion naira for this particular courses. Now, the same question that Alex is asking is what I really want to ask. What was done with the billion naira that was given to them and deposited for this particular cause, how many houses have been rebuilt? How many, where is the market, right? You had the 300 million plan. Where is the proof of that market? And I just think the Benue State government is one of the most controversial governments in a long while. If you hear the type of statements that the governor makes or coming from the government, it is really disturbing. And I just think at this point, it is not an individual that can fix this thing. We all need to come together and pay attention as to what is going on exactly in Benue State.
All right, well said. Now coming to you, Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi, do you think that the farmer header clashes they are having in Benue State is kind of properly addressed by the government of Benue State, or do you think that this is politically motivated?
Let me correct that statement,
Okay.
that appellation. It's not farmer header clash.
It's one of it.
Now,
They steroid.
let me explain how we came. Please indulge me.
Okay.
Let me explain how we came to farmer header clash and bandits. The use of these words.
Bandits.
They were deliberately deployed under Buhari, late Muhammadu Buhari, after the same current president of America, Donald Trump, slapped us with CPC back then. They had to reshape the narrative, bringing it from terrorism attack, to mere farmer header clashes, banditry attacks. Meanwhile, these names are just deployed, so that the American government can remove our name from the CPC list. And up to date, that narrative is still what we are still using to mislead the Nigerians. The legacy media understand this, and deliberately they go along with the government using these semantics. The fact of the story is we are exclusively under terrorism in Nigeria.
Yes.
Terrorism is festering seriously. The more we witness the festering and lucrative insecurity, the more terrorists
So are
we have.
you trying to say that the government of Benue State has a hand in this?
Oh, look, this is more than the government of Benue State. The federal government is culprit in this. I often say it, that politicians in government today are negotiating the lives of Nigerians as political collateral. You heard the governor when he came out, when the issue was very recent, and denied it, that there were no killings at all in the north. There was no terrorist attack in the north.
genocide.
Until the Pope again, and it was after the Pope that everything began to change. Today, there is somebody who is building you, who wants to build you, who wants to build for your people. Facilities that they lost due to terrorist attack.
That the government could
You got $1 billion naira, supposedly, because I cannot vouch for that. The Super Falcons have not gotten their $100 million.
It's
That's
true.
a valid point.
Yeah.
That's a
So I can't
valid
vouch that for that. It may be audio donation. But the Benue government do raise revenue. You have your budget.
They have state allocation.
That's what I'm talking about. You have your IGR. And in your IGR, you have funds for special purposes.
Exactly.
Like, there is a ministry we call the Special Duty Ministry. You have your special ministry that deals with situations like this, natural disaster and what have you. Now you have your people being attacked. Remember, people were burnt, razed down, houses, people cut down, machete and everything. The government denied it. The moment someone came from America, what's his name? Alex came from America, wants to build your market. In fact, the guy already has built 38 blocks of
41
flats.
now.
41 now.
Yeah.
Imagine it. 41 block of flats. But the government who is responsible for the safety and protection of the people has done not one thing. And the only response you have is to go after the man who is
And detain him.
indulging himself in humanitarian service to cater for the people that you have left stranded.
They really have a lot of questions to answer. Now, coming to you, Mr. Wisdom Okechukwu. Now, there was something that Alex Babir said here. He said that they have donated, the US have donated a lot of money or funds to these communities, most especially Yelwata. But the government of Benue State sat on the money. Instead of rebuilding communities, rebuilding homes that have lost their livelihood, they went ahead to kind of dismiss the fact that he built 35 states, though it's 41 now, as saying that it was actually 18 states houses that they built. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about a major problem that Nigeria faces. Is the fact that Nigerian government have forgotten their responsibility and became too expectant of NGOs and individuals to do their roles for them. Take this funny meme and funny thing that's been going around that Mama P came to address that we talked about this morning. This hypo trend. This hypo trend came as a result of an individual who was supposedly bragging about doing duties that the government were supposed to do, claiming that it should be NGOs that should be doing it. Now, how is it the responsibility of Nigerians to be rebuilding schools? How is it the responsibility of individuals who have no stake in the internally generated revenue of your state, the budget that is allocated to your state, to come and be building houses that your insecurity that you have chosen not to address cost? Because these people that are coming outside Nigeria to come and, this guy has no issue, like nothing concerns him about Nigeria, right? If he decides tomorrow that he does not want to be associated with Nigeria, you have nothing against him because it is not his duty. He is doing it out of the goodness of his heart. And even if it is just 18 homes, 18 homes is not a joke. Right? Coming out and saying, oh, he just built 18 homes. 18 homes is not a joke. If it is a joke, build one.
So it's not even the same. That's not even the same for me. The same he needs for me is the manner with which he disparaged it. Like,
yeah.
And
you were saying that they don't want to approve stashed houses, as if they mean better for the people than that missionary.
You know, I was actually coming to this particular point where he said that they should come back to
a better.
No, the question about coming back better. This guy was saying that they budgeted 300 million naira for
they gave him a plan for a market.
For a market. You have not built houses for the people that left. It is not market that you are budgeting.
Misplacement of priority.
Why not carry that 300 million and go and build houses? Even if it's the lowest of houses, if you put 1 million naira, you can build something. Even if it's just block structure.
They don't want thatch houses.
They want
talking about thatch houses, right? You can build.
There is one saying in my language that it's an impotent man who gives birth to his child in a faraway country. So that you can tell you have a child. Where is the child? Is in a faraway country. So that is the problem with our Nigerian leaders. They tell you this is what we want to do.
Do it, let us see.
They're always having lofty ideas on paper and never executed.
Like something you said about the audio money. I am very sure that money never left the coffers of that allocation, right? Even if it did leave, it would have been a fraction of it, and that fraction must have been splitted. Which is why they are not doing anything.
Definitely.
Definitely. I think I will agree with you. But what I really want to know is a lot of monies that have been donated to the cause of this.
NGOs.
Yes, by NGOs. That's the question I just asked. Where is the money going to? What happened to the money? But let me just, I would want you to tie this with this, my question here. You know, when foreigners come to Nigeria to criticize the fact that the government refused to handle insecurity, what would you say? Because there's a key notable figure that they came out to say one time that if insecurity persists after 24 hours, that the government have a hand in it. Would you say that the government, I know I asked this question to Mr. Ladimiji, but I just want you to tie this with what you want to say right now. Do you think that the government have a hand in it? Because I feel like the federal government is supposed to address this issue, not just now, but a lot of all this while that the US have been donating money. Do you think that maybe to an extent the government of Benue State and the federal government have a hand in this whole insecurity?
Okay, I like the way you tied both of them together. NGOs, countries have been donating to this cause. The question is, where did the money go to? Now, a friend of mine was saying something a while ago. He said, for every crisis that happens, for every war that is fought, for every disparity that you find in society, someone is benefiting from it, right? Because you won't tell me that all the money that has been donated is not going to someone's pocket too. There's somebody that is collecting that money to use and benefit. His children are in schools in America because of that money. You get what I'm saying? Now, coming to the insecurity part, this pastor that came out and was lambasting these people about the genocide in this same Benue state, nobody has said a dime about it. All we got was that he's inciting violence, he's doing this, he's doing that, whereas the main issue is not being addressed. It's the same government that went to another country to go and stop coup. So we have the military capacity to go to another country and go and stop coup, but we do not have the capacity to stop an insurgency in a state. Not even a state, a single community.
That's why I said the government is corrupt.
You get? So there is no way you will tell me that these people have no hand in this. Now, another question I'm going to ask is, where are these people getting these arms from? I mean, they don't sell the arms in markets. You don't walk into a restaurant or into a supermarket and ask them to give you an AK-47 and they give it to you. I'm not even sure that there is even a licensed store that you can buy firearms like in America, right? Over here in Nigeria. So the question is, who is supplying them with these firearms? If it is not the officials, then who? Because the firearms are not being made out of thin air. And most times you see that the amount of the capacity of firearms that they have supersedes that of the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police.
It's been overused. Sorry, it's been overused. But remember what Abacha said. If insecurity goes beyond 48 hours, I'm still emphasizing the government is culpable.
You know, this whole issue, I love the fact that you mentioned what you just said right now. Who exactly is funding these people? This is a serious question that really needs to be asked, because I saw a recent video of Adamawa attack where one citizen like that was saying that they couldn't match the guns, or rather the equipment they came with. They were fully armed, that the security agencies couldn't match them, and that was how they were able to overthrow them. And I'm like, I think at this point, we don't completely need to be going to go and fight these terrorists. Yes, we need to fight them. We need to ensure that this comes to a halt. But at the same time, who are the financiers? When are we going to meet, or when are we going to ensure that these people found culpable are being brought to book? That means that to a very large extent, just like what Sani Abacha said, the government has a hand in it. But I think if we keep on deliberating on this matter, it's quite complex. If we continue, we'll just end at the hut on this table and we'll keep on going. But let's move over to a story which has garnered a lot of traction on social media. Now, in an unusual development, the governor of Edo State, Monday Oebolo, joined the residents protesting poor electricity supply from the Benin Electricity Distribution Company. Now, the governor said the state is ready to attract investors to break the monopoly in electricity distribution. Now, this raises an interesting question. If governors themselves are protesting electricity companies, what does that say about the structure of Nigeria's power sector? We'll take a look at the video, and when we come back, we have more conversation on the topic.
I've come to join you on the protest. Why are they trying to frustrate Edo people? I want you to listen very well. We will break the monopoly. So how do we do it? We have to operate the way telecom operates. Bring in different stakeholders, bring in different companies so that we can have light. We can have alternative. Is it not alternative we want? We are going to have a meeting in my office tomorrow, bring stakeholders so that we can talk, engage them, and see how we can bring in more investors into the business of light distribution. So once that is done, we'll have enough light.
Who will they see so? You sure? Yes. You sure? Yes. I know people want to happen. What?
So I've come to join you on the protest. Why are they trying to frustrate Edo people?
Comment section said this is a governor of particular concern, and I'm going to take more comments, coming from Nigerians. Somebody said,
bring in different stakeholders, bring in different companies so that we can have light. We can have alternative. Is it not alternative we not?
It's not alternative we not. Listen carefully. I mean, I heard that. I don't know if you guys heard.
I heard.
Another person here said, Alex Otino joined protest before he do for Abians. So I'm just going to ask. I would like to take more comments, but because of time, I'll just go straight to it. If the governor of a state, Edo governor to be precise, should come out and protest against electricity distribution in his state, what should Nigerians now do? What should the citizens of Edo State do?
In Okpeholo's voice, if you ask me, now who I go ask? Because if the governor is protesting, who is the people who are agitating? Who is in the position to respond to the agitators?
Very funny people.
You came in a convoy, joined the protest of the people who are protesting to you, seeking answers. But you are joining them in demanding for answers. I don't understand again.
I don't really understand. That's why I want you to make sense.
Because he's telling us that while you are joining in the protest, you are telling them that you want to bring investors. You are confused.
What was the same person that lied about investors coming in to give 500 million last year?
The investors is calling in this time. But Sharon, let me
look, all of this is in the name of insecurity anyway. We are giving insecurity.
He promised insecurity is true. Yeah. He did promise, and he's giving them, and this time around he's promising maybe investors. And no wonder the audio investors is going to give this time. Sharon.
All right, so first off, right, it is so laughable that you have your people coming out to protest against their lack of electricity. Now the government, you are the government of Edo State yourself, and you see them protesting, and maybe because we are always dragging the government for antagonizing protesters, and we're saying, oh, address these people, instead of just addressing them, because really they are protesting because they lack electricity, and you are the best person, you are in the best position to provide them with that said electricity. Now instead of addressing them and telling them this is your plan, and saying, okay, I am going to, because I also heard in the video he said that he's going to have a closed door meeting with the Benin Distribution Electricity Company and find out ways that they can come towards a common ground. Now you're joining them in the protest. To protest against who? How? Because someone rightfully said about the Abia State government that he didn't have to protest to do anything. We're just going about our normal business, and we just heard that they've bought 60% of EEDC. Okay. That is action. That is not words. It's not cho-cho.
Abia is already making money from power generation.
Another thing, I also like the fact that even when we saw the national power grid falling, Abia still had light, right?
Exactly.
No, Abia is currently disconnected from national power grid.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have just found a way to separate themselves from the woes of electricity failure in Nigeria, and what I'm trying to point out is a government that knows what they're doing. Now you coming out to protest, if that is in solidarity with the people, I just think it is so misplaced. Personally,
that is really unfair. Now
I second your opinion.
Now a lot of states are owning their own electricity. We have Enugu State, we have Abia State, we have Lagos State, name it. A lot of states are responsible for their own electricity. Now, this is a governor that is maybe supposed to be seeking solution to their problems, but he's joining the people to protest. Wisdom. You can share your experience about electricity.
It tires me to put smart, but I go put smart. Now, Edo State has turned into a comic relief state with Okpebolo in power. And in as much as it's very funny, we laugh about it.
Okpeholo.
Okay, Okpeholo.
Okay. My bad.
Even though he's not pronouncing he as well.
Thank you.
But we move. It's quite funny. The other day, Mr. Sacramento was here and we laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed about some of the funny things that he does. Electricity is such an essential commodity of society. And I was having a conversation with you the other day and you were telling me how Nigeria generates a social amount of a kilowatt and they give a fraction to the grid. Now I'm asking, countries like Ghana that we once sent them away from Nigeria, Ghana must go. Once upon a time, has gotten to a point where if light goes off, there is a problem.
And there is always an announcement.
And there's always an announcement before.
You understand?
Before.
Thank you.
So we in Nigeria are still having to deal with, there's no light, tariffs are high. Let's not even talk about the no light as an issue. The ridiculous amount of money that is being charged about with tariff, it's tiring. At least me personally, I've experienced it, where NEPA can just wake up one morning and charge you for light you did not use, put bills on top and arrears on top of your this thing.
Darkness. You must pay for the darkness.
At the end of the day, you pay money that you did not use. You pay exorbitant amount of tariff. I was comparing the other time, Americans tariff and Nigerians band A tariff. Nigerians band A tariff is more expensive than America's tariff plan.
What's the comparison between the standard of living?
I don't want to get there. I was telling you something the other day, how a month Nigerian people, NEPA will bring bill of 110,000 naira as NEPA bill. I'm talking from experience, right? They bring 110,000 naira for you as NEPA bill. They'll bring 140,000 naira for you as NEPA bill. They'll bring 80,000 naira for you as NEPA bill. When the minimum wage is not up to 75,000 naira. Now the question is, how do you expect somebody that is earning minimum wage of 75,000 naira? Mind you, many Nigerians don't earn up to 75,000 naira. That's the minimum wage. Now you expect a household where they are paid, let's say that they are earning 100,000 naira, which is somebody that is earning good money, right? So somebody in Nigeria that's earning 100,000 naira is earning good money, and you get paid 100,000 naira for the month. You come back home, life that you get back home at night, and you will not enjoy the life for 5 hours, and they will be bringing NEPA bill of 120,000 naira for you. So what are you going to do? Will you go and thief?
I think
That's minusing.
Will you go and thief?
I think that the Nigerian people are not seriously looking into this extortion going on in the power sector.
Honestly.
It's a complete extortion. Let's be serious. It's complete extortion. Because you cannot back up with rational explanation why you are gulping my rate from 110 last month to 140 this month. And meanwhile, let's leave the inconsistency. Meanwhile, you have only provided me with darkness.
And just to remind us that someone came out to say that the reason why they increased electricity tariff is because it was too cheap. And
I want to know why you have a prepaid meter and you have a rate aside that you are paying. Why you charge your prepaid? You have a rate you are surcharged to at the end of every month. Isn't there supposed to be a rate on that your charges that they take as their percentage for the monthly due?
The same human being came out to tell us that if you're leaving your house in the morning, you should turn off your AC, turn off your freezer, turn off the whole light in your house.
That's poverty mentality.
You get that even in America, where you go to America, the people who are in America, that their lights, they turn off everything. And people came online to bash him, who are actually in America, saying that their AC, they don't know the last time they turned it off.
Okay.
They don't know their fridge, they don't know the last time they turned it off. And they are still surviving. I was telling somebody the other day that most of the things that we see in Nigeria and feel like they are luxury items are the barest of minimums. Air condition is not luxury. Having a refrigerator in your house is not luxury. It's a requirement of life.
It's not luxury.
gas cooker is not luxury. The car is not luxury.
I think
it's a necessity.
I think our leaders, they are denigrating Nigerians, to be honest, because just like everybody is saying here, these things are just basic amenities. It is not at all, or basic household materials. It is not luxuries. It's just basic. It's really unfounded and really bizarre that we get to have this particular conversation, most especially every single time, and the government always come out to lie in our face. I love the fact that you brought back what that minister of electricity, something like that, came out to say that electricity in Nigeria is cheap. It's cheap. It's too cheap. That is because Nigerians don't know proper management. That is why they are complaining.
That's the minister who goes around with power bank.
It is too exorbitant. It's really quite uncanny, but we can't we don't have time.
Very quick.
Okay, just a second.
No, very quick. When I went to the NEPA office, I was so shocked that they have generator there.
Oh, that's not new.
Yes, they use generator to power in their offices.
That's not new. That's not new. Everything at Bishma happens in Nigeria. In the police station, they secure their generators with chains.
Alright, please, you guys, you're cracking me up here. Please, let's move over to our story for the day, the last story for the day. Now, in Ahada West local government area of Rivers State, a local government chairman, Eugene Chita Epele, is accused of mishandling a young girl of 17 years, Ogadima Uchechi, who reportedly posted photos of a dilapidated secondary school in Odoku. According to the viral claim, the girl shared the images online to draw attention to the poor condition of the school. Now, if allegations is true, it raises serious concerns about freedom of expression and abuse of power, because in a democratic society, citizens, including young people, should be able to raise concerns about public infrastructure without fear of intimidation. I would love us to take a look at that devastating video, and when we return to the studio, we'll have more conversation. But before that, this was another story that, went viral. A child of 17 years being mishandled because she came out to showcase or display the deplorable state of schools in Rivers State. And what she got at the end of the day is manhandlement, or rather, should I say, maltreatment by the local government chairman. Let me have your thoughts, Mr. Oladimeji.
This is worrisome.
Quite worrisome.
It is very, very, very worrisome that, we can still have this conversation if we are talking about adults that is being manhandled, maltreated. We are talking about a 17-year-old child. My second child is just almost that age. Just almost. And because a child maybe the child has been watching movies and seeing colleges, high schools,
exactly,
in other countries, in other climes, and see how they are set up. And it looks at the school she attends, sees the roof leaking, sees bats, with holes in the roof, sees his mates, or her mates rather, on floors, and there is no board, there is no window, everything dilapidated, and the child took it upon herself to bring this information out. What is expected of a serious, concerned, sensible government, reasonable government, responsible government? What you are expected to do is to, with immediate alacrity, attend to that revelation, because it's coming from a 17-year-old child. It took a 17-year-old child to see 17. She's a minor.
Yeah.
She can't go to court. She can't be charged. She's 17.
And what she
and you beat her up. You don't job her. Look, I am calling on civil society organizations. I'm calling on whichever department is responsible to attend to this.
Civil rights movements should stand and attend to this and make sure that it is addressed. Because if it's not addressed, subsequently we're going to see children being malpracticed. Manhandled by these marauders, by these opportunists that have found themselves in corridors of power that ordinarily shouldn't be anywhere near administration of people at all.
You know, this is quite devastating. But before we continue with the conversation, let's take a look at the video.
As we all know, the future of this country is in the hands of these youth. And if they don't have a solid background in education, then our future will be faulted. So we are calling on the chairman, Honorable Eugene Chita Efele, the executive chairman of Awoda West, to come to the rescue of these children. They need school chairs. They need boards, they need windows, they need general renovation. The school is no longer conducive. They don't even have teachers. Before now, they have over 1,000 students in this school, but right now, they cannot.
This is devastating, I must tell you, but let's just go right to it. There is a lot that this topic that pertains this particular topic, but we'll start from or with freedom of expression. We've seen a lot of infringement with our freedom of expression, which is imbibed in the Constitution as amended. Why is it that these people who feel like they have more power, why is it that they always abuse the office? Why is it that they always use high-handedness to treat people or treat the decent? Sharon?
You know, this particular chairman, right, reminds me of the Iran supreme leader that was just eliminated, Ayatollah, because this is the exact same thing he did. He would take children, he would take adults protesting for better governance, and he would kill them on site. And I was seeing another video from an Iranian who said they killed over 50,000 people, and these are just 50,000 civilians, right? And it's so frustrating to be a part of a country like that, to be identified with such a country that would do this type of inhuman act to a minor, like Mr. Oladimeji rightfully said. Now, I say that we have gone past that stage of even wanting to cover up and act like we're a good government. Now, they don't even care about public image, because the normal response to this type of attention drawn to this situation would be, oh, let us quickly cover up. And even though people would say, yes, they're just acting because they want to cover up their tracks, they're not really doing well, but at least you would see them trying to protect that image. Right now, they are doing it in daylight. They don't care who is looking. They don't care who is watching. You would bring out a 17-year-old and hand her over to thugs to beat her up and leave her with an injury. How can freedom of speech thrive in this kind of environment? How can we claim to have democracy? And you see, I'm not even going to blame the chairman. It is because he has seen such things happen and go unpunished from the top. And that is why he's so comfortable with carrying out this menace he calls government to the people he's supposed to protect. A big shame on you, Mr. Chairman.
A big shame, to be honest. A big shame. Now, we've seen this incident happen in recent times. We have the one of Tracy Ohiri, which we discussed yesterday and 2 days ago, the high-handedness of those in power. And we even saw the Dele Faro Timi's case. And I mean, a lot of people that have come out to decry on this impunity going on with our leaders. But Mr. Wisdom, let's talk about the fact that Nigerians get to protest, and during protests they are being manhandled, they are being tear gassed. Just, you know, the right, protection of Nigerians' right to protest and the right to express themselves.
Okay, so there's this very popular saying which is very laughable but at the same time very real. It said there's freedom of speech, but is there freedom after speech?
Question.
This is very painful to watch, actually, because if you notice, there's a current trend going on in Nigeria where people no longer value education. And this is as a result of people in the government in power not doing the right thing. I have another question. all these schools that you go to and you see them in very dilapidated conditions, are the students not paying school fees?
Okay.
Are they going there on free basis? Because if they are paying school fees, what is the money being used for? Most of these schools, teachers are not even being paid, but funds are being generated. We talked about protesters being beaten and malhandled anyhow. But we saw a video this morning where some uneducated touts, uneducated people came out and were protesting against impunity that was dealt with in Iran. And nothing was done. I didn't see a single canister of tear gas. One. And the question is, what do we promote in this country? Because if you say that we practice democracy, I thought democracy is the government of the people. But as it stands right now, the government is more about the government of those who have the money.
Let me give you the recent definition of democracy.
Okay.
As enacted by the Nigerian politician. It's the government of the few, by the few, for the people.
Demonstration of grace.
Beautiful. Demonstration of grace. Now disgraced country of particular concern. But just to wrap it up, your comments on this, because I felt like to a very large extent the authorities in this state is supposed to at least release an official statement. This man is supposed to have been arrested because the video is circulating online now. So you don't even need more proof, or you don't even need proof at all to apprehend him. Why is it that he's yet to be apprehended?
Let me call on, first of all, the governor of Rivers State, Fubara. Let me call on him for him to save face from this situation, because this won't blow away soon. It's a situation.
Are you sure he's not tied up with campaigning for APC?
Whatever he is tied up with, but I know that this story can't go away. This is a situation of manhandling a minor.
Yeah.
And I expect, as I said earlier, civil society organizations, human rights defense organizations, what they call them, what they call that organization?
NGO.
All those NGOs. Okay. There is one particular one that deals with a situation like that stands in defense of human, NHD something. We are calling on them, particularly the governor of Rivers State, the Inspector General of Police, where I'm happy that he is recent.
Yes.
IGP Chidi D'Souza, I am calling on you. Attend to this situation. Arrest this man. And let him serve.
Exactly.
For abusing a child. I mean, we arrest people who traffic minors.
Yes.
This is just, it's grossly tantamount to abusing minor, because that is what the charge will be, abuse of minor when you traffic minor. So it's also abusing a minor. And what I'm calling on those responsible for is, before the end of tomorrow, we expect that this local government chairman is arrested. And let me put this out for the record. It is circulating, the rumors are circulating that this, high-handedness, these oppressive tendencies is very rampant in the rural local governments of Rivers State.
Quite concerning. I think at this point, people should be made to understand that actions should equal to reactions. That's number one. And for every of your action, there is consequences. They should bring this man to book. I mean, it's really sad that this young girl was able to move around her community to discover the state of the school and raised public alert, even called the man honorable chairman. And instead of listening or hearkening to her cry or her concerns, he went ahead to beat her and manhandle her. It's quite sad that we talk about this issue every now and then, and we ask, what exactly are we practicing in Nigeria? Is there still rule of law? Why is it that the judiciary, who is said to be the last hope of the common man, you can't even run to the judiciary anymore? Instead of you to run towards the judiciary, you run away from the judiciary. We really need to restore sanity to our institutions and Nigeria as a whole. But I think this is where we're going to call it a wrap on a CD Hot right here on Active Citizens. We had a full house, 4 active citizens joining us to have this conversation this afternoon. The question now is, where are you at? Are you active? Why are you missing? I think you should, have a moment of rethink, maybe food for thought for this afternoon. Please do well to join us across all social media platforms at Active Citizens, and we'll be coming your way in the evening for more political update. But for now, please go and rethink your future. Bikun. I don't tire. Have a wonderful day.